Listen up, CWC fighters. The Encounter Quest and Paracon events are just around the corner. And let me tell you, these are not your average snooze fest conferences. These are the events that you do not want to miss out on. And especially if you're looking for some excitement and adventure. And here's the thing. Once the tickets are sold out, they're gone like a Bigfoot sighting in the mist. You snooze, you lose, my friend. Don't be the one left out in the cold with nothing but FOMO to keep you warm at night. At Encounter Quest, you're going to be exploring the unexplained, all while learning from some of the top experts in the field. And as for Paracon, well, let's just say that Drewski and I will be there to keep things interesting. Whether we're listening to your encounters or cracking jokes, you know you're in for a good time, like in Vegas. So, if you're ready to go on an adventure that you'll never forget, then hurry up and get your tickets now. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. If you're wanting to call in and share your encounter, then you can find the link in the show notes. Also, there's a little Bigfoot out there who told me that some listeners think that my laugh sounds a little fake. So, this next segment is for you. You're welcome.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Zook. Hey, guys, I'm Drewski. Hey, don't touch that. Don't touch that! Welcome to Cryptid Warfare!
And if you have a story or encounter, shoot us an email or a detailed voice message to cryptidwarfare@gmail.com. That's CRYPTIDWARFARE@gmail.com.
Hey, what's up?
Hey!
Cryptid Warfare! Super stoked you're here bright and early. We have a good buddy with us.
Hey guys, we pulled him out of the cauldron. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, guys.
Actually met him at a trucker stop restaurant for a good time. Saw 5 guys.
That says call here. Yeah, he's a friend of mine, aka T Taylor, whatever you want to call him, T Mac, T Dog. Yeah, he's definitely a good guy. Another brother I have, he's one of the guys I would trust in my life and my kids. Anything, battle buddy, whatever you want to call it. Good dude.
All right. I appreciate that.
Taylor, you are the man, the myth, the legend in China. I'm just joking.
I wish.
There's a big statue of him.
Big statue. Look like, basically, this guy looks
the Greek
like
god.
7 foot tall with a beard, a Greek god mixed with the lumberjack. That's what he looks like, people. Good dude.
Dude, that's way too much credit, and I wish I would look like that, but yeah.
Right on. All right, bro. We're going to talk about paranormal and Bigfoot encounters, brother.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Let's do it.
That's good stuff.
Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah.
Anything?
Dude, yeah, man. And before we jump into this, I was so super jealous. I freaking went to see family instead of going on this event.
I had to go see
but I could
family.
have gone and just slept through the whole thing. Who knows?
Yeah. At least you weren't that guy. Yeah, at least you weren't
I
that
know.
guy.
At least you weren't that guy, Paul Fraser. I'm sorry.
We should have got Paul on here, dude. That would have been a good comedian to leave.
That would have been hilarious. We would have been. All we heard has been, I know. No. Oh, man.
Yeah, man. So about Bigfoot and stuff, at least cryptid stuff. So, yeah, my only experience really is when we all went together. Zook, you couldn't go for whatever reason, but we went to, where did we go again, Andrew? The tip corner of Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee and all that. Yeah, it was called
Somewhere
Mountain
there.
City. It's Mountain City.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Mountain City somewhere in the what is that? The Cherokee National Forest or something like that. Yeah. Oh, nice banana. I'm jealous. But
Happy to see. I can't wait till this goes to the Patreons.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to the Cherokee National Forest. I don't even know why we chose that area, man. That was just like was like a spur of the moment. We didn't know where we were going. We just went.
Well, I think I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think Paul he was on like this forum on Facebook, and
That's
there was like
right.
a lot of like active sightings in certain areas. So we just went to the one where there was a lot of active sightings, and it happened to be Mountain City. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Maybe we tried to get in contact with some lady who had sighted
Yeah,
something.
that's what it was.
Yeah, Paul couldn't get it together, but oh well. That's on Paul.
I mean, it's only a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
Well.
If you're a cryptid hunter and you got guys named Paul, I don't know. I'm just joking.
Yeah. No.
Paul, I love you, bro. I love you, Paul.
Hey, Paul's a good dude. Paul's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, he just slept the whole
like
time. So we just, bait.
As you walk back to base, you just see like a body slung over like a Sasquatch shoulder. Like,
as he's snoring,
he's gonna sleep.
And he wouldn't have woke up. Yeah.
Oh man!
But, you hear the wood knocks, and it's just Paul. Like,
yeah, man. We were kind of remote. We were kind of deep in the forest. You know, about a mile, 2 miles off the main road, which we could have went a lot deeper. But
yeah, it was. But we actually went up pretty far. We took like these logging roads up. Like we were man. Like we couldn't find the logging road that was open because they had it closed.
So
we were driving
closed,
for like
dude.
2 hours.
Yeah, it sucked. We were running out of daylight. That was the main thing. We were running out of daylight, and we were trying to get in somewhere, but you don't ever want to start unpacking in the nighttime. So luckily we found us a good spot. Towards the end of the day before we lost sunlight, and
I was a little worried we're going to be locked in.
Yeah, I was also worried about that, but Paul wasn't worried about it, so
this sounds like the perfect setup for a horror movie.
Yeah, it is. Like honestly, I was gonna get the AR, just blast that lock off.
Yeah, we've definitely been
We're getting out either way.
Yeah, man, we had a good time. Nothing crazy happened during the day. I remember we set up camp, all cooked and ate food. This is where it gets into the weird stuff. Where we set up our I don't know what you call them, Andrew, but like your perimeter alarms. I don't know what you would call them, but just regular perimeter alarms, tripwire perimeter alarms. Just in case anything comes up, unsuspecting comes up on us. And I remember we all cooked and ate the same food. So this is where it gets weird. We all ate the same thing. I had one beer, and I'm strict on that kind of stuff because I don't like over drinking and being in the worst scenario and like being able to to comprehend what's going on because you've been drinking. So I had one beer, and I'm a big guy, so one beer will not do
Greek
anything. God. Yeah, I'm definitely able to hold my own in drinking. Not saying I'm an alcoholic, but I can definitely hold my own. So
it's only a whole case.
Yeah, just only every day. So I remember we all went to sleep. It was cold. We all went to sleep. And I just remember, dude, waking up. I don't know what time it was.
What time of the year was this?
Oh,
December? Fall.
No. When was this, man?
It was a long weekend. So
I remember it was
around Thanksgiving, maybe.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like Thanksgiving week or something like that.
Yeah, it does get cold around that time here.
Before or after Thanksgiving, so yeah, it was cold, but not enough to be like snowing outside. I remember the trees were like, it was fall time.
Leaves were falling.
Super, yeah. So it was cool. I don't know what temperature it got down to. Pretty cold at nighttime, but yeah. Anyway, so went to sleep. I just remember waking up. I don't remember what time it was, Andrew. I don't know if you ever looked and saw what time it was.
Yeah, I did because I was up. Before all that, we ate, right?
Yeah.
And then it started to rain after we ate, and Paul's like, "I'm going in."
Yeah.
So we just hung out, and then we started to hear things come down the mountain. Something was coming down.
Yeah,
the
mountain. That's right. It was just me and you. We were sitting around the fire. It started drizzling. I remember that. We had our ponchos on. And it just, we started at nighttime. Way out there, dude. Like you're even with a good flashlight, your side of view is, man, the light only goes so far, especially with a super deep wooded area. What do you say we had visibility at, like 20 feet, maybe 20, 30 feet
Yeah, if that.
maximum,
Yeah.
if that. So it's just like, you see your light, all of a sudden it's just black, in all directions. No lights, no nothing. And like, yeah, I remember you said that you had mentioned that, and I remember now that it started hearing, like, I don't know, it's like getting that hair standing up on the back of your neck, telling you something
Yeah.
weird going on.
Yeah, you
And,
feel like someone's watching you, dude.
Dude, it's like that eerie feeling of somebody's watching. And, dude, we're way out in the middle of nowhere, so nobody should be watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we went to sleep. Everything died down. We went to sleep. I just remember waking up, dude, in the middle of the night, super sick to my stomach. Like, man, I had the feeling I needed to vomit. And like I said, I only had one beer, and that's nowhere near. You're talking about, you've been drinking, easily to get sick, but like, man, I felt super sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
And man, and that's not like me personally. So it's not like me to
it's not.
drink a beer and that completely destroy me. So yeah, I got up, man. As soon as I got up, because I was getting out of the tent because I felt sick to my stomach, that's when all our tripwires started going off and stuff. So that was, thankfully, you were alive and up and awake and able to respond. Otherwise, I've been by myself, and that would have sucked.
Yeah. I remember that, dude, because that was when I was just, because even like before that, like we heard some stuff and started to get a little windy and raining more, so we're like, screw it, we're just gonna go inside the tents. And I'm just up, I'm in a prone position, night vision on, just chilling out, hearing things, and then you're chilling out. All of a sudden, I heard this zombie. It scared the hell out of me, but it was you the whole time. Up. I'm like, oh, poor guy. And then then the tripwire went off.
Yeah. So, man, I said that's not like me, man. So that goes back into like feeling like we're being watched the whole time, and that it's almost. Some people, have it, others don't, but like you feel that gut feeling of like, man, something's not right.
Yeah, like a sixth sense, man.
Yeah, so like you and I both were like chit chat, like, dude, something's over here, And after I got up and got sick, man, I was like, that's not like me. So there's no telling, man. There's no telling.
Yeah, well,
it goes back into.
Yeah, well, I was actually doing some research on it and stuff, and like Bigfoots are known for like stalking. Not only just bluff charging and running around, they're known for stalking, and they're known for sending out like infrasounds. And infrasounds, like example, like scientifically, tigers do it, lions do it, all the predators in the animal world do it.
That's right. We had talked about that later after the event, man. Man, it's weird though. Like, did they send out some kind of like? That's weird. I don't know how they. It's
like some certain like frequency or something, and it like disorients the whatever they're trying to get. It either disorients you, knocks you out, makes you sick. Where they can just pounce on you. And you and I had the same food. We drank one beer together. I had a beer, you had a beer, and then that was it. We were good to go. But the thing was crazy was that a lot of the activity was on your side of the tent.
Yeah. We kept looking that direction. Yeah, because the land sloped down in my direction. I remember that where I was camped at.
And then I remember you're like, you know what, screw this, dude. Just pop off a couple shots with your AR.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Boom, boom, and just heard it.
Hopefully, scare something out, dude. That was no fun, man. Zook, you should have definitely been with us to been our third person. Oh wait,
it is one of my life regrets. Yeah. Sorry, family, I love you, but
the part that tripped me out was after that happened, the alarm went off. You and I went frontal assault towards that alarm. Looked around. Yeah. I fixed it, then the alarm went off behind us.
Yeah,
towards
dude,
the truck, dude. That tripped me out. So we're playing like this cat and mouse game the whole time.
Are you ready to level up your podcast game? Introducing Superpass, the ultimate all-in-one platform made by podcasters for podcasters. Imagine having access to a sleek website builder, the most powerful content app maker on the market, engaging courses, a thriving community, Patreon, and exclusive membership perks, all in one place. With a Netflix-inspired layout that's both professional and creative, Superpass is the perfect place to grow your audience and take your podcast to the next level. Don't miss out. Join the Superpass revolution today. Check out superpass.com and get a 2-week free trial. Link in the show notes.
Yeah, it's almost like you look one direction and then you look that way and it's over here. And it's,
yeah,
that was no fun.
Yeah,
Dude, like that's how wolves kind of work. I think as a pack, like they'll try to herd things closer together.
I think they're just testing our perimeter. So
yeah, dude. Yeah, after I got up, man, I was disoriented. I had sick to my stomach, and the alarms are going off. You know, you don't know what's going on, so it's like, ugh. And you know, our third person, you know, never woke up, so we still give him hell. Because of that.
Yeah, it was funny though, because after that things calmed down. I was still on edge, but you went to sleep. I finally went to sleep.
Yeah.
I still had all my gear on me. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. And then when we woke up, you woke up, I woke up. We're like, hey man, let's go check Let's go check stuff out. Yeah. Let's go check stuff out. So we went deep into the woods on where we saw, or like not when we saw, but when we heard all these things at, and then we noticed as soon as we went down this holler and we came up, nothing but mountains, bro.
Yeah, just nothing. It could go for. I wish we probably need to look at the Google Maps again to see where we were at exactly, but miles.
Yeah.
Miles of just nothing.
Yeah, plenty of room to play.
What was funny? Yeah. The part that was funny was you and I were still tracking some stuff, looking around, and just doing some ops. But a third party texted me, "Where you guys at?" I was like, "You know what? You're making breakfast right now."
Yeah,
that's your penance for not waking up when we needed you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
stuff was getting hot in the middle of the night, dude.
Yeah, but it's all good, man. He was going through some stuff, so he needed to rest. But I thought that was funny.
Yeah, so I'm excited. We had talked about this, but we get another place, man. Some family's land we're gonna end up going to, and we'll do another event. Hey, maybe able to, if we have service, be able to record another episode, man, while we're out there in the wilderness a little bit again.
Oh, I plan on it. I'm gonna bring all my recording gear, or majority of it, and I want to because I have 2 really, really good mics. Yeah, I don't know. It'd just be good to have that, and then have lighting and stuff. And for those of you listening who don't know what I used to do before COVID, I was a videographer and photographer, so I have plenty of stuff. But man, dude, that's so wild. And just think that's in our own backyard, like within a few hours. And after this, we're gonna plan another event. But for those of you listening who personally know us, well, we're not. It might just be like us, maybe like 2 other people. So we're not gonna invite pretty much the whole community. Because it is pretty serious, like in this area too. And I don't know if you know this, T, but there have been black cat sightings, and I'm talking about panthers. They have been seen, around Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky. And it's just it's so crazy. And
get this, I was talking to this girl. Her name's Jessica Jones. She has a YouTube channel. It's called Cryptid Huntress. She's really big. So we're going to be having her on our show, and we're going to be on her show coming up on the 25th. But she lives in Georgia, but she did a lot of intel on Tennessee, and I didn't know this, but I did know about this. I guess in East Tennessee, it's called the unspecified animal attacks on Oak Ridge. Well, Oak Ridge, the lab there, the Hydro Collider, and it kind of goes with CERN, but there's also reports of a zombie bear, dude, around there. And a lot of people are getting attacked.
Coming out with that Cocaine Bear movie soon,
too. Exactly.
Let's go to Oak Ridge, boys.
Funny, and what's funny was that the Cocaine Bear thing was here in Tennessee as well.
Oh, what? No way.
Yeah, back in the early 90s or 80s, yeah.
Dude, Bear, awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. Made. I don't know anything about this. That'd be bad, dude. It's like you have a bear that looks like Tony Montana, and it's like you're a Hassa.
Yeah, Legend of Coke Bear. We need to get some T-shirts made.
Oh, that's freaking sweet. And he's got an AR saying, "Say hello to my little friend." Oh, that's cool. Hey, we
I love
that.
it.
Well, after listening to one of the
Those
confessional
things.
episodes where Tony was interviewing somebody who wasn't from the Knoxville area but had moved there, had been there for several years, and yeah, he brought up CERN and then actually seeing like not Bigfoot, Dogman,
Yeah.
and
Well, Tony.
portals and stuff. I'm like, dude, and that's only like 2.5, maybe 3. No, I think about 3.5 hours from Murfreesboro.
Not that bad, man.
Which literally is not long at all. Wake up at 5, get there at 8:30.
Well,
Yeah.
What's cool, when me and Tony were talking, he didn't put on one of his episodes real quick, but he was talking about where, like one of his neighbor or like a friend of the family, they went to a barbecue and they were just talking, and he's like this ex-operator, right, who works at that facility. And he drank a couple beers and he told them, yeah, my job is I'm just an assaulter. I shoot whatever comes out of the portals. What? What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Tony was talking to me about it. I was like, what? I'm like, did you ever get the story? And he's like, yeah, that's all he told me. And then he saw him again when he wasn't like thrashed. And he's like, hey, man, do you remember that conversation we had about what you did? And he's like, yeah. And he told him the same thing. He's like, yeah, I just shoot whatever comes out of those portals. That's my job.
So that kind of reminds me. It goes back into like, your conspiracy stuff and believing that. I don't know what you would call it. Like they almost get like the audience, the people will watch movies and stuff like that, and you'll get like, I don't know what you call it, but they give
like
you the answer. They give you the answer right in front of your face.
It's they call it like televising or like pre-programming or
subliminal.
There you go.
Or
like subliminal, like pre-programming. Yeah. Like this is like they make a movie and like, oh, this is fiction, but in reality, it's some truth to it. Yeah. Example, talking about Oak Ridge and stuff, the portals and stuff like that. You're one of the big TV shows right now on Netflix, Stranger Things. You got a universe, right? A different dimension of universe of beings, these monsters looking things, coming through portals at a government facility, right? And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, they filmed some of the TV show in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. So.
Oh man!
So it's like, what is the coincidence? Like the chances?
I think not.
I doubt it.
Sometimes
I don't believe in coincidences anymore. To be honest.
Oh, I don't either.
Sometimes some of the best places to hide is in plain sight because a lot of people won't see that. And of course, with the media and all sorts of things, like what is actually true, they're trying to make it look like a fairy tale. And I'm like, no, they're. Yeah. As far back as when people used to do cave paintings and stuff like that, there have been so many type of creature sightings, and they look this. I mean, they'll be slightly different based on like the locations, like around the world or different sides of like the United States, but it'll still be the same creature they're referring to because you can see like the long arms. They're big, bulky, and hairy. Like could be Dogman, could be Sasquatch, could be something else, but they're I don't know. I definitely think they're a flesh and
fun,
but.
Yeah, I agree. And just like talking with Gary Wayne last week on Giants, Nephilim, Fallen Angels, they have these types of portals where they can go in and out, and that's kind of like their trait gifts. You know what I mean? Certain Fallen Angels put DNA into half woman, whatever, and that's their trait aspects. As far as us, our DNA would break down as soon as we enter those portals because we don't have like that trait. And also, too, a little fun fact with CERN. And the one we have here in Tennessee, if you look at the latitude longitudes of the whole Earth, they line up exactly. They line up exactly on the it's basically like a grid coordinates. They line up exactly.
See, that's to me that kind of stuff is not a coincidence. You wouldn't build that stuff there and not be on purpose. You don't just pick a random spot. That could be go back into.
And it's also
using
the pyramids.
I don't think we as a human race can create. Can we open a portal with like man-made devices? Maybe can we draw enough power from like our electrical grid to power them? I don't know. The theory of like using the Earth's magnetic field to power things, which that's a theory on what the pyramids and stuff do too, is gather power and stuff like that from the Earth. It's just free, unlimited natural power.
With yeah, and there's this. It's a fascinating story, and it happens sometime. I believe it's sometime in maybe like the mid 1900s or something. Maybe like sometime after the 1950s. But anyway, there was a guy in Florida, and he managed to. He would move these massive stones. I mean, these things were tons and tons and tons, like they were no joke. And he would create like these structures with them. But nobody ever really knew how he did it, and he never really explained it. But he gave like a vague answer, and it was something like along the lines of, the Earth's magnetic field, and then I think there were some issues with the location of the stones, so he had to move them, and nobody knew how he ended up doing the same thing at a completely different location. I think it was also in Florida. So yeah, with these grid lines and certain locations, there's something about them, and even like the Egyptians, like they refer to them. So I mean, and two, since we are from the Earth, I believe there are certain aspects and things that we can do, just certain elements. But too, we need to be very, very careful in things we dabble in. Like,
oh yes.
But I don't know. It's just crazy what certain elements can do to us, but also what we can do with them. Like, you can be like a freaking Hercules. Which, which when you guys listen to the episode, I mean, it's going to air, like Gary Wayne's going to air on Tuesday next week. Yeah. I mean, we will cover, Gary Wayne will cover Hercules. So a lot of these Greek gods, some of them were actually real. Some, if not all, like I'm sure some were like just created by people, but a lot of them were actually real. And, they were the Nephilim. And it's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You should, and I'm so stoked for this new book coming out. I had no idea about it. Now, I don't know. It's just cool getting that little gem.
Yeah, what's crazy too is like a lot of these portals, like throughout history, like the first one they came up was on Haran, and that's where the fallen angels, basically they called that like the mountain of the gods, and that's where supposedly where, if you look in history through all these religions and stuff, if you look at like Roman times and stuff, that's where supposedly where Mount Olympus was at, right? And then before that with the Persians, that's where like the mountain of gods were at. And then even before that, in like Noah's time, during those religions and religion of Cain and all that, that's where the angels fell, came down, lusted after the women, raped them, had kids. That's where you get your Nephilim from. And it coexists with that too, even after the flood. The Nephilim were here on the earth, and that's where you have your Hercules, Jason and the Argonauts, all these guys. They were like half Nephilim.
Oh, man.
It's just a mind blow. And then also with like portals, they're basically at the bases of mountains or at the top of mountains, and CERN is in between, at the bottom of these two mountain ranges. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's in between
kind of like what they
the
teach in real
Jura
estate.
Mountains and the
Location.
Alps. It's like, yeah. And if you look at the kaleidoscope where it's at, we have like the mountain ranges here in Tennessee, the Appalachians.
Yeah, I
then
believe
that's
it
where you
does
get
all play a part.
Yeah, and if you look at like NORAD in Colorado, it's built in the mountains. A lot of these things that happen where you get these portals and stuff are literally at the base or on top or in mountains, dude.
Huh.
Yeah, and this cave system.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Exactly. But
it's so crazy.
It
like
trips me out because cave systems.
Yeah, man. One of these days, like hopefully this summer. I mean, I know that we are going to go camping again this summer. Not sure where, but just kind of setting that in stone.
Nick Valente, holler.
I mean, but whenever we went out to the Mammoth Cave area, like on the way to Sonic, no comment on that. Man, there was like just going off the grid, like parking in that church, walking down to that I guess cave entrance that was on private property. But there are so many entrances you can take where you don't actually have to go to like, what do you call it, the resort or the campgrounds they have there, where it's one of the main entrance to the, because I mean the whole town rests on a cavern system, like Tennessee, like it's one of the largest in the world. And it's just freaking crazy how deep it can go, and man, I love doing that. Oh yeah, like when we went camping, not camping, caving over there on. I don't know if I should say his name. I don't know if I'll get in trouble. But anyway, on a friend of ours' name.
Undisclosed location.
Yes, there we go. Man, that's so. Very eloquent. But that was really cool, man. And I, kind of got over my fear of tight spaces at that point. But in those survival scenarios and crap, I don't know. Like, I was still waiting for one of us just to come up missing. It's just that natural mystery and fear and wonder of like the unknown, and well, you can't see what's behind you. I'm like, I know one of you didn't touch my butt because nobody's behind me, If you're looking for one-of-a-kind art that is sure to make you stand out from the crowd, then look no further than Drew's Tags. Drewski has created a world of custom art that will take you on a wild ride through sports, space, travel, military, cryptids, and beyond. Whether you're a fan of Bigfoot, a reptilian, conspiracy theorist, or just someone who appreciates a good pun, Drewski has something for everyone. So why settle for a boring old print when you could have a custom creation that is as unique as you are? Reach out to Drewski today and get started on your one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Check out his Instagram link in the show notes.
Well, going back to that, not only too, like a lot of like the missing 411 people, if you look, of course, you line it up with the whole map of the United States and you have all these pins of where the missing people are at. Then you put Bigfoot on top of that sightings, that's where they're at. You also put caves and places where they're at, and it matches the same way, the same exact way. It's like overlaid. It's crazy. Like people go missing and you can't find them.
Actually create certain designs. Like it's weird. It's almost as if it was some grid that makes some sort of what's the word? There's a pattern. Like
I
don't know. It's really odd.
See, that was back in my early days of like learning this stuff. So I had no idea until afterwards. You guys told me about this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise,
What got me on
inside,
that
inside
whole...
the death hole. Yeah. The hole of death.
By the way,
Bigfoot death hole. Yeah.
Big old brown chocolate covered starfish hole. Yeah. Love Limp Bizkit. Sorry, guys, that's bad. Anyways,
whatever happened to him?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyways, other than that, man. So after we got on a rabbit hole big time, I love it.
Let's keep going.
Okay, so after that day of camping, we went around, walked around, and all that. Going back to that, we came back and we ate. And what was your what did you think? What was your initial thought? Like, okay, there's something out here.
Dude, I still believe. I still believe, man. My hair was standing up on the back of my neck that night. I honestly believe there was something there. We've told this story to a few people, some believers and some not. And, the non-believers say you're losing your mind, and the other people are like, maybe there was something. So, but I truly believe there was something there. I wish, I have yet to see something firsthand to actually see definitive proof. But man, all I know is while we were there, dude, something was there. I could feel it.
You can hear it.
I can hear it. You like we said, you could hear like the movement. It almost, we had talked about it while we were, while we were looking around.
While we were back to back.
We were literally saying, it's almost like it's just right outside our field of view. Like it's right outside the light, how far the light goes. If the light went 20 feet, it was at 25 feet just looking at us. So it's just, man, it was a time, it was a period of time where like I felt something was truly there. I don't know how to explain it, but it was.
Yeah, even though we were kitted out, I didn't feel very I felt like we were getting hunted.
I felt like I had nothing but a little toothpick to defend myself with against this. So, because we're not dealing with, regular stuff that we know about. We're dealing with borderline supernatural and
big freaking monsters. And that's the thing that kills me. I was like, holy crap. Because when we were talking with Nick Valente, like that dog manhunter, he was like, dude, like if you go out, you need a team of at least 5 guys, and you need anything over 308s, just to put these things down. And I was like, what? It's
like we were literally kids.
We're
like were kids with water guns out there. Just
yeah, all I had was a 40 cal, 5.56. That was it.
Dude, not unprepared. So now we know. So I'm revamping all my stuff. So I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah, seriously, man. See if I can get a grenade at least in case I get caught.
Oh, that'll be
going with me.
Black web or something, dark web.
Yeah.
Ooh,
we'll have you back on. Web. We'll have you back on. Yeah.
Yeah. So see if we can buy some stuff off there.
Yeah. You hacker. Other than that, man, you've had
man, that's the only time I've ever felt that way. I've had sleep paralysis one time.
Oh, let's go into
only one time. Man, this has been this year's 23. I don't know, 2017, 2018 maybe. This is my first house. Yeah. Worked night shift, so I remember it was on a Friday. It was a Friday night, so we got off that morning. I had napped for an hour or two, stayed up, and then it was time to go to bed that night. And so, most night shifters, I would usually get up at 3 in the morning, just get up. But this time, man, I felt like it was time for me to get up because usually, you're awake. But I remember, thankfully, all I know is thankfully I had my, some people will hate me, but my Apple Watch. Some people hate Apple, whatever. But I had an Apple Watch on, and I fell asleep with it on. And I remember the lights were off. I was sleeping in bed. I had not a lava lamp, but one of those Himalayan salt lamps on my side of the bed.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah, I know. It's, cheap decoration. But I remember the lights were off, man, and if you have one of those salt lamps, it's kind of like an orangey pink tint to it. So it's almost like a little night light on your side of the bed. So I had a little night light, and it was pitch black. And I remember waking up, laying face up. I'm trying to remember, it's been years ago. Laying face up, and I remember waking up and okay, I'm awake. It's time to get up. I woke up before my alarm, but I woke up and my eyes were open, but I was frozen. Right, couldn't move. And I remember what the heck? So I woke up and I was frozen. So I was I don't know what the heck's going on. It's my first time I've ever had sleep paralysis. I didn't know what sleep paralysis was until later doing research. But I remember distinctly that night light. Usually it would light up the room just a little bit, not enough to wake you up, but just light it up. But I remember that Himalayan salt lamp, the light stopped midways in my field of view, and it was just almost like a distinct line between the light and just absolute pitch black on my left. And so I'm laying face up, so I couldn't look to my left, and so man, I started panicking, and I just felt this ominous, I don't even know how to describe it, this ominous feeling of presence on my left side. Just I don't know what it was trying to do, whatever. I don't even know what it is, but I just remember it was just pitch black, and I just felt like it was an evil presence to my left. And man, starting to panic. I remember starting to cry because my wife at the time was sleeping next to me, and here I am in my mind screaming, trying to get her to wake up, but nothing's coming out. It's your typical sleep paralysis experience. You try to speak and nothing comes out. You try to move and you can't. I remember I started crying. I started crying right there, and I woke up. Once it finally was over, I had tears on my face and stuff. But I woke up, snapped out of it. It was all of a sudden, like a snap, and you're out of it. So I sit up, heart racing, breathing super hard. That feeling of whatever presence was gone. But I remember, thankfully, I had this Apple Watch on, man, and it said it was saying danger, danger on the Apple Watch, because apparently my heart rate had got up to 214 beats per minute, which is double what it should be.
Yeah, it's insane.
But I remember the watch itself was saying danger, calm down or something, like seek medical attention, whatever. Because like I was panicking super hard trying to break out of the sleep paralysis. I woke my wife up and told her about it. I was like, I was sitting here screaming for you, and you're 4 inches away from me. Like, what the heck? And she was like, never heard a word, never woke her up. I don't know what you're talking about. And then she rolled over, went back to sleep like it was nothing. So I was like, I'm sitting here dealing with what I just dealt with. Yeah, women. Yeah. So I'm sitting here dealing with what I just dealt with. It was like the worst experience I've ever had. So I was just like, by myself. So I was like, this sucks. Luckily that's never happened again. Maybe it's because, I don't, maybe it was all her, man. And that's why I'm not single now, but I'm divorced now. So maybe it was all her. Who knows?
So we'll put T's number in the show notes and his address. So
no, I can't. Not anymore. I'm happily. I have a girlfriend.
No, he's locked down, man. He's got a good woman.
Yeah, it took us months to get him on here.
I know something. She is also super into this lifestyle of conspiracy. Maybe one day we'll get her on.
We got to have her on too, man.
I got to convince her. She's like, "Oh, I'll just go and watch." I was like, "No, you got to get on there and talk."
It's amazing the power a testimony can have over so many people, because it really does create a community, and so many people are so terrified to share about their experiences. And some people, I know it's going to get pretty graphic, but some people kill themselves because of the public ridicule they get for literally holding all this in, because it just they internalize it, and it just destroys their mindset and them emotionally and spiritually. And I don't know, there's just so much about community. And
just this past week, man, I was talking to somebody who I know is an absolute non-believer into cryptids and weird stuff, and so I'm just just creating conversation to kill time. And like you said, the it's almost like they no hate on them, because I love that person, but it's almost like they talk down to you like you don't know what you're literally crazy. And so if you're truly believing that, having somebody talking down to you, it's something you honestly believe is true. And so finding a community of people is excellent.
Oh, it is, man. It's kind of reminds me of I've been in it with AA or Celebrate Recovery or something you struggle with or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people think, dude, you're freaking horrible. And so that's why a lot of people kill themselves, or military or prior law enforcement. You need that community, people who understand you, and people who've been through, if not been through it and gone out of it. You know what I mean? People who people who get you.
Yeah.
It's I think this story will correlate, but it made me think of, just speaking of communities, like a band of brothers. There was a story from an ex-army vet. I think he was pretty high up, and he was going around to schools, and I think he was sharing at this one location where there were a lot of adults and journalists and stuff like that. And one of the journalists asked, "Do you miss any bit of your combat experience?" And he was like, "Man, I miss every bit of it." And the tone of voice that he had, of course, he didn't miss the carnage and all that stuff, but it was the community and his brothers sweating, bleeding,
it was a camaraderie.
And then when he came back to the States, I mean, let's be honest about America. It's a very difficult place to think outside the box. Yeah. There are just certain. So I'm trying to think how to phrase it. There are just certain people in power, and I'm not just referring to the government and all that stuff, but they want you to not think outside the box and have a limited perspective on life, and control you. And then once you start going outside of that, you're considered the weirdo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but yet people are thinking of all these weird, I'm not going to get into this, but all these really weird ideologies, just with identity. And we're considered the weirdos. I don't know, it's just really odd. Have you ever had a close encounter with the unknown? Have you stumbled upon a conspiracy that's just too strange to be true? Well, now's your chance to share it with the world. Our Cryptid and Conspiracy podcast is on the hunt for the most intriguing and unexplained stories, and we want to hear from you. Submit your tale and join us as we delve into the mysteries of the world of cryptids and conspiracies. So don't keep the story to yourself. Let's explore the unexplained together. Get in touch and let's make some noise.
Yeah.
And backtracking a little bit, too, whenever T was talking about wearing that iPhone watch, it's very interesting, like how pretty much anything, and especially with technology, well, no, with Earth elements too, but everything has a certain type of frequency, and even like our Wi-Fi routers, that frequency does have a sort of negative effect on our own personal bodies and our minds, and and it's very. I was watching a little documentary about it a while back, and I mean it was years ago, but it's so cool, like how you'll feel different if you were to, like if you go outside and do what are called like grounding techniques, like just walking barefoot
Oh,
out in
dude.
the grass in
Yeah.
the yard. And I tried it, and it actually helps. You can actually even notice it, no joke, with children, like not babies, but toddlers when they start walking in the grass barefoot. I mean, hopefully they don't step on a bee or anything, but it's wild, man. Like, and then plus we need like the vitamin D from the sun. There's so many positive things about being out.
Yeah. And like, man, once upon a time, I was that type of person. Like, man, I want to have a mansion and all this.
Yeah.
You know, I always wanted a command station as like my office. You know, it looked like a NASA station, TVs and
Freaking
computers
awesome,
and stuff like
Batman.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like Batman. You know, and then over, you know, once discovering this type of this type of lifestyle, um, I'm converted, man. I'd be happy with the bare minimum, the absolute bare minimum. I'd be happy with, you know.
Yeah.
It's taken a lot to go. It's, you know, of growth. I think from being the, you know, you want to just have things, you know, you just useless things, to be honest, and reverting back to kicking it old school like you know your ancestors, man. You don't, and just have nothing, and just have, you know, at that point knowledge and, you know, and family, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I agree, and that's basically the two things that are really dying out now is knowledge and family. You see the families just totally just getting destroyed, and everyone's doing their own thing. And knowledge, everybody's so lenient on technology. Like you see it everywhere. Like people, if they lose technology, they tear themselves apart because no one knows how to go back to the basics.
Yeah, I was
It's
watching
like dying trades.
I think
Take that
it
iPad
made it
away
on the
from
news,
that
but it was
kid, yeah.
like I think on a CCTV camera. But it was I think the kid was a high schooler, and the teacher took his game away, like his Nintendo Switch game away, and he was literally going to kill her. It showed him running and tackling her, throwing her to the ground. He was beating the crap out of her. I think he was even kicking her in the head, like. And then he was upset when he realized he was going to go to jail for that. Like, it's just so weird. And I was trying to run all that through my head. I'm like, this is the world.
Well, to me,
like,
it's just like a certain, like to me, like control and mind control. They're like, it's almost like a waffle. You have different areas of that. And to me, the phone, the laptop, the iPad and stuff, the apps are a certain type of control that just suck you in. I call them
Dude,
time
it's worse than like the worst drug to be addicted to.
It is. Because automatically
you-
you're always like looking at your phone, always looking at
well,
your
they're
phone.
made to like keep you sucked in. Like they literally, they're very smart. I remember in one of my college classes, it was biomechanics and kinesiology, I believe. But anyway, we were going over the eyes and the connection from the eyes to the mind, and it's so fascinating, of course, how certain colors and also certain light frequencies and variations, how it can trigger certain chemical reactions in the brain. You can think and feel certain ways, and it's in like McDonald's. Like, you know, McDonald's chose red because I believe red makes you hungry. And then I forgot what yellow represents, but yeah, for you all listening, you should look into color schemes and stuff like that, and like light variations, and I don't know. That's why I'm trying to be pretty careful. And also backtracking to earlier, they also have things that you can actually install in your house that can block a majority of like these frequencies set by like Wi-Fi, TVs,
5G.
computers. Yeah, no, I know, man. It's so weird. Like they already have. I was watching a show on Amazon, and they were like gonna unveil like 5G, but they were already like I don't know, like 8G ahead. So they're already ready for like the worst of the worst. But well, I say worst of the worst. Like it's crazy what all these frequencies, like the more damage it is doing to us. Like I'm not talking about like cancer or tumors or anything. It's just kind of scrambling our I guess our spiritual sense, like making us more numb. I don't know.
It's just, T, where'd you go?
Hey, technical.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. What's funny is this thing I was watching. It showed a timeline from when the radio happened. You know, like the frequencies of the radio till 5G, right? And it showed the radio till when the first telephone rotaries came out.
Yeah.
Then literally like in between, like the Spanish flu broke out, right? And then when you hit the 1G to the 2G, like swine flu broke out. And then it does all the way up, and then it was pretty interesting. It's like when 5G hit, it's like the COVID came out. I don't know. It was just pretty interesting.
Maybe. You never know, dude. Never know.
But I thought it was interesting. But
I do know that if you talk about COVID,
this call is recorded now, so
cancellation. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and it's crazy. Like even now, I even read it earlier. It was like on one of those. I mean, it's CNN. You can always trust CNN. But it was on one of these.
Okay, Jamel.
all hell, CNN. All hell, CNN.
CNN, these nuts.
Yeah. All hell.
But it was one of these big news channels, and they were talking about how now the proof has been out there. And for anybody wanting to do some research, I'd recommend not using Google, because for one, like you will be registered, like, and they flag your stuff. And two, they also sell your information. But DuckDuckGo is a really good research tool to use. But it's crazy because they were like, it was a lab leak. And of course, it's like right now we're going through, it's a giant information war. It's been going on since, honestly, 2020. And now it's started getting heavy as of October of last year. But there are going to be trickles, and then it might stop for a minute. Then there'll be more trickles of information. And it's crazy, like the more stuff that is coming out. And then, I'm going to be careful in how I say this, but there are just some people out there who are considered non-vaxxers, and then those who got vaccinated. I'm not like anti-vaccination or medicine or anything, but I did well. I did really, really, really good in my science classes in college, and those are very difficult classes. At least they were for me. And it was just it was weird how fast those vaccines came out. Like it's at least a minimum of 5 years, like to go through all the trial runs, stuff like that. So it's
do you guys remember how long it took? Like 6 months, 8 months?
Yep, maybe? It was about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Not even. Yeah, just rush it.
Quick.
Well,
not only that too, it took them forever, but they came out with it like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, that COVID did come from Wuhan, China, in the laboratory.
Wow, that's crazy. Who would have guessed?
I know.
Wait, is that sarcasm?
Wow. Who would have guessed that's where it came from? Yeah.
Who would have known, Clyde?
And once upon a time, you would have been borderline arrested and sent to jail for saying that.
Sounds like a Canada.
Yeah, dudes.
Oh my.
There's select few people actually see that. Your freedoms are slowly being taken away, and people, you're crazy. People will look at you like you're crazy for saying that. To think that your freedom, what are you talking about? I want communism here. I want socialism. And just people have zero idea.
No, they have no idea. Okay, so I was really ignorant, like when I went.
FYI, check out. I'm throwing a bone. Check out Sean Ryan's show.
Yeah. Sean Ryan.
Anyways, go ahead.
But crap, I forgot. Oh yeah, I was in one of my sociology classes in college, and I was so ignorant, like. I didn't do well in like high school or just school. Like I really believe my teachers just passed me to get them out of their classes and their grade level, because I really was like a pretty troublesome kid. But not going to talk a lot about that. But just had a pretty hard home life. And anyway, like I didn't know who Karl Marx was, but I decided to do an essay on him for my class. And then I just saw him like, dude, communism like is not cool. And then of course I looked into socialism and stuff like that as well. But yeah, it was a pretty hard presentation to do. But I did it, and that's when I realized it's so weird when you look at these other countries. We have so many freaking freedoms here in America. And we are literally taking it for granted, and because of that, so many people have been getting comfortable and letting little things slide past the radar. and those little things are now turning into big issues. One of the best metaphors I can think of right now, and this you can use for any sort of problem. It was in the book called The Noticer by Andy Andrews, and he was asking this guy who was, I think the guy was on he wasn't loyal to his wife, or he was a workaholic, one or the other. But he said, you ever been bit by an elephant? And the guy was like, of course not. He said, what about a mosquito? He said, yeah, who hasn't? And the moral of that story is like, yeah, mosquitoes are small, but they can total to be a really big problem over time. And that's kind of like, if you think times are tough now, then you ain't seen nothing yet. Like, as more things are starting to get past is normal, which are disgusting.
Yeah. Not only that too is like, it's like, man, it's like, what's going on? Because ever since they're talking about like those spy balloons over China, and then the train derailment in Ohio, it's like things just went from 5 to 100. You're getting 3 derailments, plant explosions like 3 times a week. What's going on?
I think it's been like 6 to 8. You know, it's like every day it's like, oh yeah, another train derailed. Oh,
and what's funny,
another train.
And then
hazardous materials. Like, what the heck is going on?
And to me,
the water system.
They're also pre-programming the minds of people where it's just another day. Yeah, it's not a massive thing.
There was like a local to that area in Philly or wherever, and she was actually recording
Palestine, Ohio.
Okay, in Ohio, and she went down to close to where I guess the train wreck was, and there were all these dead fish in the water.
Yep.
And she was just saying, nope, this was strategic. Like, I don't know if the video is still on YouTube, but
this was interesting. T sent me a video. This was really interesting. T sent me a video. I forgot who this guy was, but he said, okay, you're thinking about how when that spy balloon was coming over, how it was sending information and frequencies back to China, while in reality, it could have been sending frequencies and signals to secret cells here already in America. That's where we're getting the train derailments. That's where we're getting the plant explosions, because these people that already been planning here by certain countries are just waiting for the signal to go. And that thing was going from all the way across America. And what's happening now across America? Train derailments, plant explosions. Like T said, it's not coincidence. I think not. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah, and it's weird. It seems like these other countries too are buying up our American land.
Yeah,
which that is really weird.
It is so weird. Like,
other countries own portions of your country.
Yeah,
to me that's really weird. Yeah.
Where's he going? But yeah, man, so to me, the keg's already lit. It's just when the explosion is going to happen.
Yeah. We talk about this every day, man. It's like, and the sad thing is, some people were like, do we have to go to work tomorrow? Well, no, you don't have to go to work tomorrow. It's going to hell.
Yeah. Yeah, totally, man. Not only that, too, like, oh, man, I keep telling people, look, just right now, stock up on food, water, because right now it's like, even you and I even looked at, like, where like a lot of the water manufacturers and food, and like Kroger's a big one. A lot of their facilitates and items they have come out of Ohio. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
don't forget collecting rainwater is also illegal for some reason. So, you know,
yeah, but I don't know if I trust the rainwater now because all the chemtrails and crap they put in it.
Dude,
yeah, just saying.
So it's a cornered market. You can't even get fresh water without traveling across the frozen tundra and climbing the mountain of Vesuvius to get clean water. And even then, it might have microplastics in it. So it's like lose. We're all gonna die.
Dude, they're just squeezing the life of everything, man. Gosh, man.
And
not only that, too, I read an article where,
Get ready for some monster-sized entertainment with no pesky ads. Subscribe to our cryptid podcast for just a few coins a month and listen to all the spooky tales of the unknown creatures in commercial-free bliss. It's like having a personal Bigfoot guide without all the foot odor. So, what are you waiting for? Get your subscription now and join the hunt for the truth today. Link in the show notes.
God, what's his nuts? The guy who keeps pushing the vaccine, other than Biden, the computer guy.
Fauci or
no.
Bill Gates.
Why am I blanking?
Bill Gates.
God bless him.
Oh yeah, that dude's buying up so much
Gates, man.
land.
He's buying up land. Not only that, he created a thing to the Senate where they're going to be injecting the vaccine in meat. Because for the people who don't take the vaccine, that's another way they can inject it in the people.
Yep,
is in
I've
the
read
meat.
about that too.
Wow.
So it's like, oh my gosh, like what the freak? What are we doing? To me, like, it goes back. It goes back
Dude,
to
it makes you so
1776,
angry,
man.
dude.
Oh, it does. It does. It's like, if George Washington were here, they wouldn't stand for this.
Man,
Like,
and that too, like,
I don't know though. They had a
I want
goal
to start
too,
making my own stuff, like
Black Rifle Coffee, bam.
All I know is, dude, buy local, shop local.
Yes.
Do everything local.
Yeah,
you get away
markets.
from these gigantic
American.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so hard, like especially whenever you want to change and you're so used to just eating, I don't know, all the cheap food. And I'm like, no, literally. And I'm not saying that out of ignorance. Like my major in college was exercise science and like a minor in phys ed. So one of my nutrition classes, we learned just how kind of watered. And I also gave a speech on organic versus just natural food. And even organic isn't like, they can just have like one organic product in it and it still has some really bad stuff put into it. So we just need to be careful what we put in our bodies. They say if it has more than 5 ingredients, then it's not the safest.
Sorry. There we go.
That's what you get for drinking that contaminated water already. Yep. Drink some more. Watch it down.
Black Rifle Coffee. Anyways, yeah, man. Like you said, like going back to the basics, right? A lot of people really don't even know how to grow a garden.
Dude, I've never known. I bought a book and I'm fixing to start my own garden right now in my own land. So
yeah, same here, brother. Like to me, I'm gonna start off with growing potatoes because that's pretty easy.
Simple,
and I'm pretty dumb. So let's see how it goes. Not only that,
can't go
watching what was like The Martian, seeing Matt Damon live off of potatoes.
Dude, yeah, all you have to do is potatoes and be able to take a dump is all you need to do. to grow potatoes, yeah.
That and just grow, to me, would be key. Catching rainwater, filtering that like crazy. Grow a garden, get chickens and get pigs, man, and goats. That's it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I believe if you were to have like that kind of stuff too, like you can get a certain like a government grant or something based on how many cows or like on your land and stuff you have.
I wouldn't want the government knowing nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I chuckled a bit when I said it. I'm like,
That's why we're called private citizens. We're supposed to know everything about the government. They work for us. It's the opposite way around. They know everything about us. We know nothing about them.
It's scary. Yeah, guys, you should check out the Patriot Act, listeners.
Yeah.
So, 2001.
And that's why I like reporting on ours. Like T, but we had like an issue, Gary Wayne, with like it when we record over a certain amount of time on the other streaming software that we use. It's on a private server, and since this is on Skype, like I don't know, so many people can I guess keep it in their storage or whatever.
I don't care. I don't care.
Like, well,
the truth needs to come out. I'm at the point I don't care.
I'm starting to get there too.
I'm sick of hiding. I'm not hiding, but I talk to people what I can. But those online, I'm for it. I don't care, man. The truth needs to be out there. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Some people need to hear the hard truth. Some people still live in their little.
Let's bring it, baby! Woo!
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Some people live in their little box of comfortability and you don't want to step outside. We have a friend like that. He doesn't want to step outside of his little box of comfortableness. You know, and this is all BS and black to him.
Well, and it stinks too because when crap actually does hit the fan, it's these. I use this what's the word, like lightly, but whistleblowers, because just because somebody says they're a whistleblower, you know, you need to do a background check and stuff on them and know who you're actually listening to. But you have whistleblowers who are actually telling you all these facts and things that are happening.
It's Ohio, but I bought this. About a year ago.
You have like
so
a hand growing out of your forehead next time we
I've been stocking up. So. But,
you think that's why you've been coughing, yeah.
A fish. Reminds me of Vegas.
That's all right. I want to die and get to heaven quick, so I'm just joking. But yeah. But
Which
yeah,
I'm still waiting
before
with they're gonna try to keep pushing. Yeah, I think this would be worth sharing on our podcast. Definitely. But gun rights and stuff like that. Years ago, when we first started doing cryptid warfare, we had your friend from Middle East, and she sent us a video of a pastor. Well, the pastor was already beaten to death and dragged off by a horse, and then after seeing like the aftermath. They were pulling everything out of this secret church, which was almost in like a little strip mall area. It looked like in town, and I mean the amount of hatred these people would even show when tearing apart like chairs, benches, just random books and stuff. Like I'd never seen so much. I mean, it was terrifying. Like,
yeah, the scary thing was that she was actually there. She went outside because they don't have bathrooms inside. She went outside to go use the bathroom, and as she walked out, she had her head covering on, and she's seen these massive people go in and start pulling people out and killing them. And she acted like she blend in as like a gray man, act like she was a spectator and recording everything as she was calling the cops. And the cops showed up and just did nothing.
They were literally holding their like AKs.
They were just holding them, just watching. And then she kind of slipped out and ran home. She got in a cab and just took off. Yeah. And then she sent me that video, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Wow.
Yeah. They basically took that pastor out and they beat him to death.
When that just shows, because I know you went you got into like more of a deeper discussion, like why didn't they do anything? And she first went into saying like, this is how much your podcast means, like your message, because I've been sharing it with a lot of my friends out here because we need and we love hearing stuff like this, and she said, and honestly, a lot of it, and like those cops that didn't do anything, we just don't have gun rights out here, and it's crazy. Yeah. Like a lot of people think it's bogus and stuff, and I'm like, people, you should look up to see like actual killings and stuff in other areas of the world. Like,
look at history. How do we learn from our mistakes? Is history, right? T told me about Australia. I looked that up. Australia, they took away gun rights. Look what's happening now with the whole COVID action. COVID. I'll say it all I want. But they freaking started locking up people because they wouldn't take the jab. Where you going, Zook? No, they didn't want to take the jab, so they started locking them up. Same thing in Europe, dude. Like their gun rights were taken away. You look at New York City, their gun rights were taken away. All these places have the most massive murderers, or the government can run it how they want because of the gun laws. People don't have freedom. You take away the gun laws, you take away their protection and the right to do things, then you can take away their freedom of speech. That's how it's always been. Simple.
Yeah.
Well, so now they're doing the cancel culture movement, and a lot of these other countries, like they see that the Americans, unfortunately, like, I mean, the Americans themselves, like, aren't like the evil people. It's just like the puppet masters who control like these people who want power, and it's I don't know. It's just really sad because so many people, they'll just keep following like the government. Like,
I'm not saying
like
thinkers.
that it's everybody in the government's evil, but I don't know. There's just so much to it. It's a deep rabbit hole, really deep rabbit hole.
Yeah, not only that, like what T said, the certain person. Quite frankly, a lot of people are like this. If it doesn't affect them, it doesn't burst their bubble, it's not in their backyard.
Won't worry about it,
They won't worry about it. They'll bury their head in the sand. They won't worry about it. But yet when whistleblowers like us talk about it and try to warn people, they think we're crazy. But in reality, I think it's because they don't want to deal with it. It's too much for them. Yeah. And then when crap does hit the fan, they're like, they go crazy.
Yeah. That's like, I forget who said it, but like, you're just not going to magically know what to do when stuff goes to hell. You're just not going to be like, oh, I know what to do. You know, you're going to panic and not know what to do and end up getting killed or your family killed, whatever, all the above. You know, the thing is, like, it may not happen in our lifetime,
but my kids,
so be it. Yeah. It may happen in your kid's lifetime. So your job as a parent and as an open mind, a critical thinker, is to be prepared. You know, it's your job to be prepared. Not everything is going to be handed to you.
Exactly.
You know, it's not everything is going to be at the grocery store to go buy all the time. Back when COVID hit, you couldn't even find a piece of paper, notebook paper to wipe your ass with. Because people were, I don't know why, but people were just buying toilet paper and cleaning supplies.
Dude, and it's crazy because toilet paper people were selling it for like $1 a sheet. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like a guy on eBay was. I mean, eBay shut it down, but he sold like over 1,000, I think. He said, "Buy 4, get 1 free." I'm like,
that's not like that doesn't even sound like real life.
And it's crazy. Like even in Hawaii, I know this was a long time ago, but I mean, they were selling cases of water for hundreds of dollars, and it was like a 24-pack. And it sucks, like those morons who just take advantage of the weak. And they themselves are also weak, but it's just, I don't know, it's weird.
So step-by-step plan. Step 1, you don't go out and spend $50,000 stocking up right now. Right?
No.
Right, because if you start doing that right now, you're years behind the schedule. Right, every time you go grocery shopping, buy a little bit extra of what you already buy. Instead of using that, set it to the side. Away. And over the course, I guarantee you, go grocery shopping once a week. By the end of the year, you'll have 6 months.
A good setup.
Yeah.
And I was telling my wifey about that before it started getting all crazy. I'm like, no, we need to start buying like more food now. Like at least get 1 extra of whatever it is you normally get, because food is going to go up, and of course it just keeps getting higher and higher. Well, I forgot what like a really good example, but a loaf of bread now is just stupid. Like compared to
I guess $6-7.
And it's just so freaking weird. I'm like, I was gonna say something else, but I totally forgot. Oh yeah, well, there's also that famine going on, and I know like, or maybe it's past. I haven't looked into it in a while, because I need to take a break from doing so much all this deep research. Man, it starts to mess with my mindset. I'm like, nope. Got to be positive. I'm still alive and breathing, and God's still good. We have a roof over our head and food to eat right now, but it's always still good to prep, because I don't even Exodus. Oh, Exodus, like with Joseph and how they stored up all that food.
Basically, God told him when
he was
Pharaoh's, when he was Pharaoh's right-hand man, God told him, hey, there's a famine coming. Store up 7 years worth of food. Prepare. Same thing with Noah. God told him there's a flood coming. There's a flood coming. There's a flood coming. Prep and prepare. Like, to me, God gives us wisdom to think about these things. And the way I look at it is, I do the same thing. I store stuff up. I'm considered what you call a prepper. But if nothing happens, so be it. I'm cool. But if something does happen, I'm okay. And to me, that's being wise. That's it. If God gave you a brain, use it.
Yeah. It's up to you. It's up to you to make that step into, and doing something. We have, thankfully, just by talking like we're doing now, just in person, we've convinced a couple people to at least try it and start prepping. Start opening and questioning information that comes to them. Opening people's mind, like when people talk about opening your third eye or opening your mind to the reality of what could happen. So.
Yeah,
but like a little prepper slogan, like something good to remember is, it's better to have it and need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree, man. Not only that, too, like it says, it talks from Revelations 5:6. The value of basically just talk about food's going to go up. Like it's going to be like a day of work for a loaf of bread. And it's already happening like that in Africa. It's already like that. People work for a whole day's wages just to get a piece of bread to feed their family. That's already going on, man. And it's slowly trickulating here towards the
and
west,
it's so crazy because we see all these side effects of everything going on, like pretty much everywhere else but America.
Yeah.
And that should be a sign. But I know, like with the media, they tend to put that stuff on the back burner on purpose, folks.
They do. And I really suggest,
man.
Yeah, and I really suggest with people, like, to me, the best advice I can give you guys is go to your outside sources, man. Check out. The way I try to do it is I don't just look at CNN and Fox. I look at other news sources all over the world on what's going on. And I combine them and I look at, okay, this is total BS. And I also have boots on the ground on these different countries, and I talk to them about it. You know, and to me, the best resources you have are just people. You know, because people who are on the boots on the ground, seeing what they see, you know, that's the best resource in my opinion.
And that's why it's always so good to have like a strong knitted community. And just when I say community, they don't all have to be local. You know, it's always just good to have a network. With all sorts of different backgrounds. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. But also too, when all that fails, I always go back to the Bible and biblically on what God says. To me, all these things are going to happen anyway. It's inevitable, but in the end, He wins, and I'm cool with that. So, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. T?
Man, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys having me on today.
Bro, you came in clutch, dog. I love this guy. Dude, I love you, man. Okay, this guy, guys, I'm letting you know this guy's a source of knowledge. I get a lot of my ideas and stuff. We bouncing off of this guy. He is, I love this guy to death. So, T, if people got any questions, man, on prepping or anything like that, where can people find you, bro?
Oh, dude, I'm not big on social media, but
perfect. So his phone number is.
Here's my address. Come here and talk in person.
Social?
No, dude. I guess Instagram. I guess I get on Instagram every once in a while, but I don't post on there. That's Redbeard Poppy on Instagram.
There we go. And Poppy. Oh, that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And let's share with the audience too. Oh, I want to say this before what I was originally going to say. Too, whenever you see Drewski and I at events like Crypto Warfare, and there's another one, Paracon, which is coming up the end of April.
Yeah, Ed Brown's hosting that. Yeah.
And then the I just blanked out on the other one.
Crap, I'm exited.
And that's coming up in March.
Encounter Quest.
Encounter Quest. I knew it was the name. Like
the first April 1st. The first week.
Yeah, man. Like guys, seriously, like you need to check that out. Now, once again, I'll put that stuff in the show notes. But we will be at Paracon coming up at the end of April. Super stoked about that. We've been looking forward to that for a while after talking to Ed Brown. But you guys don't know this, which I'm sure you don't. You should check out T. He and a buddy, they have their own
landscape. And what's it called?
Landscape. Okay.
Oh yeah. I appreciate that. It's we're starting to get back into the summertime. Coming up. So yeah, landscaping, lawn care needs. We're at Ready Mow on Facebook. So you can.
Yeah, we'll plug that. We'll plug that in the show notes too.
Yeah. Let's put that in the show notes too.
Yeah, Ready Mow Landscaping, Middle Tennessee. Yeah.
America. Yeah.
Yeah. Mowed in America.
Yeah, man. Mowing in America. All right, bro. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, that's all I got. All right, guys.
All right, love you guys.
And T has something really great to say.
Quick question.
Which is,
okay.
All right, see you guys.
Back. All right, don't hang up. All right, I asked this for everybody. I kind of jacked this from Sasquatch Chronicles. In reality, what do you think Bigfoot is, man? There's no right or wrong answer.
What do I think Bigfoot is?
No.
Dude, I just had this conversation with somebody the other day. Dude, it could honestly be just an unknown species that we just have not officially discovered yet. It could be man-made. It could be literally from another planet. Who knows? Yeah. I think the true spirit of Bigfoot hunting is what you want it to be.
Yeah. Sounds like a date in Vegas.
Stupid.
Well, anyway, that's on that note. Well, guys, till next time. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys. Just remember, keep your heads up. Question everything. Do your research. Just keep your heads up. This season ain't gonna be forever. So remember, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and rulers of the air. And guys, just be smart. Lean on God. And have a good, safe, blessed week. That's all I got.
Watch you hang with It's pretty simple. Anyway, yeah. Just give me something to feel. They know the glass is full, so the drip is turned to a spill. Be careful what you wish, I for sure can grant your appeal. Cause when I hit you, they gon' blame me when you carted off the field, right? I'm already cold, but I need to chill. I'm here to sharpen the skill while giving us some conversations where none of us getting killed. Look, that's just how D feel. I'm buying land for the rebuild. Welcome to D-Field, plotting in isolation. Cause finding my way in this type of nation, delaying gratification by sowing my seeds now and understanding the patience. The book is already written, stop skipping pages, forgive me, the mind is racing. If you take away the things you think you needed, life is basic, it's a movie, a lot of them playing Satan. Be happy, God is free. You follow truth if you follow me, just call me D, I turn the page. You really think you doing something when you burning sage? I done it all and it was nothing but a learning phase. Yeah, that's demons casting out demons, giving yourself the power by telling God you don't need him. I'm leaving all of my problems to the Most High. You see what God do behind the scenes and make your soul cry. And you don't have to be in church with a suit and a bow tie. I'm saying when you sinking, he'll be right there when your boat die. I call him Wi-Fi. Look, it's all about connection. How much did he study when you see a man was tested? How much did you give when you give a man his blessings? One of my pet peeves is saying it was manifested. You can walk outside right now and get shot and die in a second. It's two things I pray for, and that's peace and protection. Did you guess it? And I ain't saying go believe the reverend. I'm saying my praying hands are a secret weapon. I kept them for many years. Struggles are souvenirs. I see we not moving, then that's the reason I disappeared. Cause I'm on a mission to break loose in my future years. Even if it looks super weird, I should be the one Lucifer. But can you tell me that isn't something wrong with me? Cause I'm able to find peace without walking on the beach stress free. I look at life like you should, cause everything you think is bad might be good. Understood? Hold on.